Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab of California, and we're going to do another breakdown for you here today on Baker Mayfield. We did a Baker Mayfield breakdown back when he was in college and ended up winning the Heisman Trophy, and today we're going to do another one, a little bit of combine, and then also some stuff of this year, and then also some stuff with what makes him, with as a quarterback, really just in general, what makes it so when you don't have the same mechanics, what then ends up being the result of that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started here. Really what we're seeing here is the back, just because we're going to, in the actual videos too, we're going to look at the back. What he's able to do here, if we look at Baker Mayfield, you can see how much he's really able to sit back and really sit down just in general. Which is really, really good. He's really bent over there, but is able to still maintain a pretty tall position with his spine. But you can see how much he bends his legs here, or really has that really knee bend. And then from there, he's able to generate a lot of rotation, right? Because he's so far back in his hips, right? He's able to bend so much in the hips and also really in the knees. When he then goes to create force, he gets a lot of movement. Look at how much movement he gets in his hips as he's pushing off, and that makes it so he really pushes off a lot with that back leg. And if you look, he does a great job too of, as he's pushing off that back leg, also then kind of torquing that up and letting it all go through the arm. See how well it transfers his force all the way through? We'll watch it here in fast motion as well. See how well he just is able to sling that ball, just because as he goes back, just gets it right out of his hands by generating all that force, all that twitch. And you can see it's really a fast movement. Even though it's a fast movement, though, you can see when it slows down, there's a lot going on, especially in those hips. And that's what kind of makes it so there's a little bit of a uniqueness to his throw when he's actually going through it. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Same type of thing though. Look at how bent he is, and look at how much rotation he creates in that hip, and really uses that to actually generate the throw. He's a little bit overextended with his legs. He takes a pretty big step here as he goes, but that's just because he's much more reliant on rotation overall than he is in creating a ton of weight shift forward. So he creates most of his forward press here. Boom, right there. That's where he's going to move forward. And then from there, it's all rotation, all rotation. Really, that's where he gets most of his powers. He just creates so much rotation. I mean, his hips, like we talked about, are always going through the entire throw, just consistently moving forward. We can take a look at this one here. This is a nice throw. This one's to the right, though. Ooh, this one, see how he gets a little bit shorter of an overall stride and just kind of lets it go. You got to be able to be quick. Got to be able to throw from a lot of different stride lengths. You want a lot of different bases. You want to be very comfortable in being able to move around through there, but still able to create, just stays to what he normally does and still creates a lot of rotation. I mean, look at how much overall just torque he's able to get out of that throw. And so really from here to then, there's not a huge difference overall. He might have done a better job of before. No, he still drops that ball pretty low. I was going to say maybe they got him to drop the ball a little bit, or to not drop the ball as much, but definitely not there. Able to continue to put the ball on the line. Now, I think what he ends up doing sometimes, and this might end up, being an area that I think everybody can do, and maybe he's trying to keep a little bit too big of a base overall, or trying to change up different bases. That could be a part that he's trying to adapt to, is being able to throw it from a wider base and not as wide base. But here we could see it's play action here. He gets that hips going, and he just doesn't get as much of that overall rotation. He's used to being able to create a lot of force, and really doesn't get a push backwards either. You can see how he gets a push. He kind of pushes his hips forward and just doesn't get as much overall rotation in the throw as he's coming through. And that makes it so then his spine comes up, and he just totally ends up throwing the ball back behind as he's going through the low and behind, right? So you can see a big difference in the throws, and where he's usually able to drive off that back leg and also stay in a very athletic position as he throws. But as he's going through here, you can almost see he drops that elbow a little bit too, and just doesn't have that same overall motion, and how that ball just ends up going right into, right behind him, right into the dirt. And really the point there is just is to show that when you don't have, or when you don't accomplish what you want to be accomplishing during your throw, when you don't stick to those mechanics, when you're not able to, create the same amount of force overall out of your lower body, or just stick to the same force regimen that you normally do, you can see what the results are, right? You can see that you end up not being able to throw it as effectively. And even us, we talk a ton about being able to continue your overall hip rotation. And when you don't continue that hip rotation, you don't press off the back leg the right way, you're going to end up having, not good results. You're going to end up throwing the ball low, and also just being inaccurate. So, part of what helped him get there is being able to drive off that back leg, being able to very easily and very methodically be able to transfer his force up the change from the foot to the hip, from the hip to the core, from the core to the shoulder, and the shoulder to the hand. But when you see here, he just doesn't do it as well, which you can see also the result that comes of that. As always, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, reach out, Morey, M-O-R-E-Y, at yourperformancelab.com. And any quarterbacks interested in our throw program, I'd really highly recommend you reaching out, and we'd be happy to give you a little bit more information about what it is that we do and how we can help you. Obviously, it's a 100% free call. If you have any questions that you'd just like to ask me that I can maybe help you out with, please be my guest. I'd love to be able to talk to you. Thanks, and we'll talk soon. Bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, you could subscribe down below, and that way you can get updates on any of the new videos that we get. Also, if you want to, you can check out some of our other breakdowns for speed and throwing. We have exercises, also jumping mechanics videos, a lot of great stuff within our channel. Hope you enjoy.